Twitch.tv. All right, there's one. Just gotta retweet it.
There we go. We got some folks in here too already.
We got Tink up in the chat.
What's
Let's
up,
go.
Tink?
Let's go. All right, y'all. We're gonna get this thing. We're gonna get this thing started off, and we're gonna start it off right. It is episode 1 of the Skywalking with Wetz and Heff. Episode 1, and this isn't gonna be formal.
No, far from it.
It's not gonna be perfect. But I can guarantee you one thing. We'll have some dang good discussions in here. We're going to try and get good guests as much as we can, from athletes to professionals to whoever we feel's fit to come up here and talk. Today we got Jaden Stanley, former collegiate hooper, now
Yes, sir.
professional hooper. Say it again. Professional hooper. Okay. Before we get to Jaden, we're gonna hop in there here in a couple minutes. I just want to introduce ourselves. I'm Jacob Wetzel. All right. Former athlete. And current golf addict. You know. So we can get into me later. This is my boy Heff. Heff, introduce yourself.
I am Hunter Heffley. Jake and I, we go way back to elementary school. We've been best friends since day one, so it's really cool, really exciting to start something new like this with him. Like he said, we got Jaden Stanley coming on, professional hooper, first episode. We're starting off strong. I do want to say also for those live viewers on Twitch, drop questions, drop comments. We'll get to those during the show. So any questions you might have, any feedback you have, we're interactive over here. So just drop anything and we'll address it.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what. Heff and I have known each other for a long time. And there's a reason why I asked him to be my co-host, okay? There's a reason. He brings what I absolutely do not have. Okay? Rationale, logical thinking, critical thinking. I'm more just think off the top of my head. And so when we get into some of these topics, we start talking with some of these people, I really appreciate Heff being in here because he's going to bring a different side to a conversation that, you know, I might not think of, you know. So we're ready to get this thing going. We're gonna get Jaden in here in just a sec. But like Heff said, please come in here, ask questions in the chat. When we have guests in, we want you to engage with them just as we do. You know, if we see a good question in the chat, we see somebody want to ask the guest something, please throw it out there and we'll ask. And so one thing we do ask is just to have some courtesy. Please, you know, keep it clean in the chat. Keep it positive, as positive as you. Hey! If we're bashing the Houston Astros, let them have it in the chat. Let them have it in the chat if we're bashing the Astros, okay? But you know, just be respectful to our guests, be respectful to us, and that's all we ask, man. And so we're gonna get Jaden in here. We'll chop it up with him, and we'll be talking about some other stuff. We talk about some ball. I know James Harden's doing the thing again.
Oh,
I know the Yankees suck. The Yankees suck. Okay. Big UFC card coming up. O'Malley, Montana boy, fighting for that title. And you know, and whatever else comes up, man. So yeah, here we go. Let's go get Jaden in here and let's get this ball rolling. We'll wait for him. I'm gonna go over to that podcast guest Heff, and we'll just wait there. Yep. Got Heff in here. Got Jaden in here. We'll wait for the mics to come on. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing going. I'm jacked. There he is. There's Jaden, baby. Come on, man.
I don't have a place to set up my phone, man. I'm looking. Let's see.
Yep, get comfortable because we're about to dive in here.
You can see me?
Yeah, we can see you. We can see you.
Okay.
Jaden,
What's up?
appreciate you, dog, for coming on here, man.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me.
Perfect first guest for us. Perfect first guest on the heel of the big news that you just had come out. This is my boy Heff Hunter. You may have seen him roaming around Great Falls High back in the day. You know, hey, believe it or not, Jaden's he's a Great Falls High alum, I guess we could say, for what, 2 years?
2 years till my sophomore year, yeah, something like
that. Yep. So, yep, we're going to get in here, ask Jaden some questions. Again, if y'all want to ask anything in the chat, feel free. So, I guess just to get things started, man, how are you doing? How you doing?
I'm all right, bro. Like you said, I'm on the cusp of some big news, man. I just signed my first professional contract, so it's like, you know, it's exciting. It's really, like, I'm kind of nervous, but I'm really excited. Like, I've been working my whole life for this, so. When I'm just like, I'm really geeked. Like, I'm really, like, it's cool that I get to do this. So, you know, I'm excited, bro. I'm pretty good.
That's dope, man. Honestly, that's crazy. Just the journey to get there, you know?
Yeah.
From, you know, like you said, bouncing around between the Res and Great Falls, kind of all around the country. Tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of leading up to this, you know, big accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's so much that leads into this. I mean, you witnessed a part of, like, a big part of it. Honestly, like, how long I've known you since I was like, what, like 4 or 5 years old, man. Like, we've been tapped in for a while. So, you know, you've seen a little bit of just what goes into it. Just, you know, being consistent with what I wanted to do. Just wanted to play basketball. You know, growing up, going in between the Res and Great Falls, and then just permanently living in Great Falls. And, you know, just have to overcome certain things. I'll be, you know, just getting better as a basketball player myself, or just, you know, other things going on off the court. Just growing up, being a teenager, just being able to keep my drive in basketball and stuff like that. Like, you know, it was a lot. It's a lot to get to this point, and that's why I'm so excited. Like, I know how much it took. It literally took like an arm and a leg. So the fact that I'm just at this point now, you know, I'm so grateful for it. Like, I just feel so blessed.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Remember, like, back in the day, those old open gym days at Great Falls High. You know, we used to watch, like, your brother, Trey, like, Skunk Cap and those dudes hooping in there. Like, we're just, like, the little man.
Man, I used to have beef with you for so long. I used to have beef with you for so long.
Who didn't?
Him and I were on the side court while the big varsity dudes were doing their thing. Like, I'm like, you know, he's 2-3 years older than me. He's killing me. And I'm just getting so mad. I'm telling you, like, games are like 10 and it's like 10-1. And I'm just getting mad. My brother, he's like, nah, go play him again. I'm like, bro, I don't even I don't like him. I don't like him. He's killing me. You know, looking back on it, it's like, I just look back and I'm like, man, that was dope. Like, that's why, you know, everybody knows I call Jake Ump. Like, that's Ump for real. Like, that's my big dog. Got a lot of respect there, you know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Bro, crazy how time flies, first off.
Yeah.
And, like, second off, like, I remember watching you come up in the gym. You'd come to, like, you'd be, like, playing travel ball. You'd be at the open gyms. And, like, from CU then to now, it's absolutely insane, man. Like, your freshman year, you're on the freshman team. Sophomore year, sophomore team, right? Or something like that. And then you move. You go to, like, Georgia from Montana, which is, like, a big jump. Like, hoops-wise, like, you go to a big place like that, it's a completely different ball game. Man. And then next thing you know, we see Jaden getting these D1 offers. We see him getting these JUCO offers. We see him hooping. And so, like, what was that like for you, I guess, like, coming from, like, a place like Montana where, like, we still got hoopers, don't get me wrong. Like, people hoop. But, like, I feel like Georgia's just a completely different game with, like, competition and all that.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It was like being dropped into an ocean, like being a goldfish dropped into the ocean. Like, it was, you know, see very tough hoopers in Montana. Like, don't get me wrong, there are very good basketball players all over Montana, but a very tough hooper compared to like the number one player in the nation is, it's like it's levels. It's levels. So as soon as I got to Georgia, I wouldn't even say I was a good basketball player. Like I wasn't that great. But I got dropped into like the fire. Like
Hmm.
I played on Southern Stampede AAU team, and like I was playing with like Colin Sexton was on. Sexton was on that
Oh
team.
no shot.
I'm like I'm seeing firsthand how nice dudes are. I'm like, because I didn't play much. I just got down here, so I'm sitting on the bench and I'm just watching these dudes go to work. I'm like, what? I'm like, ain't that? He made that good. He's that nice. And we were playing guys like MJ Walker. MJ Walker, I don't know if you guys know him. He's very tough. He went to Florida State back in graduated 2017. But we were playing guys like that, and you play guys like that, and you're like, man, I have to get good. I have to get better. Like I can't fall behind like that. So it was like a fire. I was in the gym like 8 hours every day. Like no exaggeration. Like as soon as I got out of school, I was going straight to the gym. Like I made sure I scheduled to where I got out of school at like 11:30. Like yeah, like 11:30, so that and like I had all my classes arranged that way so that I could go to the gym and work out and just play all day. And that summer, I did leave. Great Falls was like my best summer. Like I had lost a lot of weight, and my jump shot it just became more fluid. And from there, my game had just developed in such a way that it wasn't like I didn't see the potential in Montana. Like I didn't even see the potential in myself. I didn't
Hmm.
know I could do certain things I was doing until I came down here. So it was a crazy experience, but like I needed it. Like I needed that fire. I needed to be dropped in the ocean to swim with sharks. Like
Hmm.
it was beneficial. Like obviously now, like it was beneficial. Like I'm so grateful I did it. Sad, I miss home every day.
Yep.
I miss my. There's no place like it, but I had to leave to do what I need to do.
Bro, absolutely, man. And so, like, I remember, I forget, who was your freshman coach? Was it Tatarka? Was it?
Nah, Daryl.
Yeah. And so I remember watching y'all's play and like your practices. I remember you so hard on yourself sometimes. I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like you were so hard on yourself, and you could tell that you really did you wanted to be great. Like you said something like, you might not have seen the potential, but you still
yeah,
has some tendencies that I feel like definitely helped you. You know what I mean? Like a little
yeah.
chip on your shoulder.
Yeah. I'm still hard on myself like that. Like because I now I know my potential, and I feel like I can be greater than what I am. But even back then as a kid, I just I just didn't want people to honestly think I sucked. I just wanted
Hmm.
people to know basketball. And so a lot of my motivation was just coming from my family and coming from like watching y'all. Like honestly, if you want to be honest, growing up watching like you, Lucas Vine, and Matt, watching you guys go to work. You feel me? Even Brad. I know you remember Brad killing JV, then coming up varsity killing. Like, come on, like just watching y'all play. I'm like, man. Honestly, in my head, I'm like, why are they better than me? I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And y'all all did something that I wanted to do. Like Lucas had his mid-range pull-up that was automatic. I knew if you shot the ball, it was going in. If you shot a tray ball, it's going in. I mean, like I knew if Matt drove, he was gonna make that floater. And I took all of that, and I like in my head when I would practice, I would go at y'all. Like I'm going at y'all in my head. Like
Hmm.
so, I looked up to y'all because I wanted to just be better than you guys. I wanted to get there, but
Yep.
just be young. I wanted to learn from you guys. Put a competitive. I was hard on myself because I wanted to compete. I wanted to be great. I wanted to be. My competitor just wanted me to be better than y'all.
Yep.
Like
That's what
better
it's
than
about, man. That's what it's
yeah.
about. Like I remember it was watching like Trey Skunkcap, Matt
Yeah,
Schmitz, like those dudes. Like those were like your brother's age, I think. And
yeah. Those are
like
my
it was the
still.
same thing, man. So like, and you have that impact on other kids now too, you know. So
Yeah.
because you played. So what was your high school? Like, where'd you go from high school? Where was it? And like, where'd you go from there?
So I went to Discovery High School down here, and after that, I went to the Air Force Academy, and things didn't work out too well. So I left, sat out a year, and then I went to Columbia State Community College in Columbia, Tennessee. And like even that year, like I got a bunch of offers. I got a couple D1 offers, and I decided that's when I went to Morehead State in Kentucky. and I went there for 2 years. Left that second year, and then went to Minnesota State, Moorhead, which is funny, but went there, did my last 2 years, and yeah, that's where we're at now.
Hell yeah, Hef's the
So-
Air Force dude. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. So when you're coming out of high school and you're getting recruited by all these schools,
Mhm.
kind of what does that recruiting process look like behind the scenes, and how did you ultimately end up there over some of those other schools that were looking at you?
Yeah, I will say this: the recruiting scene is really ruthless. It is ruthless. It's grimy. It's like talk. It's like it's in a way. It's like talking to a girl. In a way. You never really know. You never really know what's going on because I had a point. I had a bunch of schools talking to me, and one summer I remember I broke my foot. I got a Jones fracture in my foot, and I was just out for the summer. And like almost every single school I was talking to just stopped recruiting me, like just off strength of that. Like, they were calling my phone, telling me, "Oh, you're such a great basketball player. We want to get you on campus. Like, we're gonna do this for you, do that for you." It sounds good. Get an injury, you don't hear from them no more. You text them and you're like, "Okay, I'm good." They're not even interested. But Air Force actually stayed with me through that entire process. Air Force stayed with me through that entire process, and that meant something to me. So I decided, like, all right, let me go out here and try it out because their loyalty stood out to me, and I figured they were you know, have my back on things. And, they did. I have nothing bad to say about the Air Force Academy. It's just certain things aren't for certain people. There were just some things that I didn't want to do. And, there were some things I wanted to do that I just couldn't. So I decided
Mhm.
that's what other path. But yeah, going to Air Force, I don't regret it. It was fun. Went through basic training. That was fun. That was fun.
yo, Hef went through basic training, and I was like,
I can only imagine what it's like at the academy. That's probably like normal on steroids.
Man, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad because I went to the prep school. So it wasn't like fully inclusive. But
Mhm.
it was enough to like make me like every day. I'm like, man, what am I doing? I'm
oh,
like, like, what am I like? I would look up at the sky. I would look up at the sky, and I'm like, dude, I'm really in Colorado right now. It's freezing. Standing at attention, like I just want to put a ball in the basket.
right.
Standing here at attention, but it was cool. It taught me a lot of things. Personally, I think everybody should go to basic training for at least like a month after high school. Just to show, just so people can get an idea of what's really going on.
Mhm.
Like I learned a lot. Like I make my bed every morning because of that place. Like I make my like I don't sleep under my covers. I don't sleep under my covers so I
Oh
don't
my god.
like
That's
That's
funny.
crazy.
because I don't know. I just hate having a messy bed. I like being clean, and I can attribute that to the Air Force Academy a lot, honestly.
Yeah. See, that's
Yeah,
dope. When I was gonna ask you that, I know you weren't there for a while, but like,
yeah,
it taught you some stuff that, like, honestly, like, makes you a good professional. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It really does. Like a lot of things. Just the grooming standards, having your hair a certain way, not being able to have a beard unless you have a shaving waiver, stuff like that. You know, I don't know. Like I'll still stand on it. Like I think everybody should go through it at least a month, just to see. It'll really knock a lot of people's ego off. Like it'll knock a
Bro,
lot of
Mhm.
like yeah, it gets treacherous out here, man.
bro, I don't doubt it. I think that kind of stuff. A lot of people do need that. And you kind of look at sometimes you look at the where like society's at right now. It's like some people could use this just to straighten up. You know what I
Just
mean? And
Mhm.
like my boy Hef here, man. Like he makes his bed every day. Like he has his clothes out. Like he's on top. Like he's a very type A. Like get it done. And me, I'm like, I'm rolling out of bed. I don't know, ADHD all over the place, and things like that. Especially as a young man coming up, dude. I think that's huge. That could be
yeah,
huge for a dude. Let me see here. Hunt, my boy Jordan Hunt. I don't know if you know Jordan Hunt, but he put something
yeah.
in the chat. He said, "Who'd you learn the most from in your career?"
Who'd I learn the most from in my career?
Good question.
That is a really good question. That's a great question. Um, Basketball wise, if you want me to be honest, I would say like my brother, because he's the one that put me on to basketball. Like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't like be here playing. And a lot of his game kind of just transferred onto mine. like what he did and stuff. And I would say, I don't know, you guys probably know him, Lawrence Racine.
Lawrence,
Like
yep.
I like
Yep.
myself like a handed version of him because
Mhm.
like his moves I incorporated into my game. So I would say like
Smooth.
'cause
Smooth.
I played with him. I played with him almost every day. Like when I was like 14, before I left, like 13, 14. I played with him every. When I came to Georgia, I found myself emulating a lot of his moves, like his side steps and his tween cross into a shot. Like I put all that into my game, and you know, it really helped. It really helped a lot. Like just what he
Yeah.
did, his pace and everything. So I would say Lawrence and my brother definitely taught me a lot in my basketball career. Like crazily. Like I love like I don't know. Just some of the things I'm doing, I'm like, yeah, I learned this from somebody. But I with my game, I do that with a lot of people. Like I see a move and I'm like, dang, that's a
Mhm.
nice move. Let me go work. Let me go work on it. Like Kakashi, copycat, copycat jutsu. Like I mean, the copycat ninja. Like
Mhm.
watch a move, get it down right. Now it's mine. Like that's just how I like to
That's
play.
what it's
Cause
about, man. That's what it's about. That's dope. That's dope. You said Laurent. He's so smooth, man. I remember watching him. Like, he started on the B team in middle school, and he came up and started killing.
yeah,
Um, let's see. Jico Zay said he taught you everything he know.
yeah. That's one of my best friends. That's like my brother. That's like my boy. So like a lot of people don't know like when I moved to Georgia, me and my mom were actually like in a situation where we were just staying in churches for a while. Like it was tough. Like it was hard. Um, I didn't want my mom to be out there alone, so I had to be with her. So we were staying just in churches, just various churches for a period of time. It wasn't too long, but just a period of time. And in that church, I met Zay, and man, I don't even remember. We were just talking mess to each other. I honestly think that's how we became friends. Like he tried me on some like he was like, "Man, I would bust you on the court," and I'm like, and everything. We went outside and we just played, shot, and then we went inside, played 2K, and I beat him. He won't tell you this. I beat him, but Dame had like 60 points. Dame did have 60 points, but I beat him in 2K. So, and I'm better
Okay.
than him. So that's like my brother. Like that's like
Okay.
my real.
That's dope. And
Yeah.
then Renzo McGee said,
Oh
"Stop
yeah.
it. No one should ever go Air Force." What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, Zoe. Man, I knew he was gonna say that. Zoe was my teammate in Minnesota.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, that was my teammate in Minnesota. So,
So you went Air Force Academy and then JUCO.
mhm.
How was the JUCO scene for you?
Man, Renzo was there too. Zoe was in JUCO with me too. But man, the JUCO scene is tough. I would say it's not for everybody. Like
Yeah.
it's really not for everybody. It's a lifestyle. It's hard. Like you got to just love basketball to do it.
Hmm.
You know, that's what kept me sane. Like the school wasn't fun. The area we were at wasn't fun, and college practices aren't fun. Like Jake. College practices just aren't fun sometimes. Like I don't care how much you love basketball. Sometimes practice and weightlifting just isn't fun. So you got to find a way to make it just good. You have to find a way to make it better for yourself. So we, like I said, JUCO it was tough, but I honestly think it's a good route for a lot of kids, like a lot of young. Get them extra years, like get them extra years of development before you go on to the next school. Because a lot of kids try to come into a school as a true freshman and don't play. Like they'll get benched. A lot like it
Oh
happens.
yeah, for real.
You go JUCO, you get 1 to 2 years of playing experience. Get out of there. Your
Mm-hmm.
next school, you could be a starter, or you could just be coming off the bench because they trust you. They know you can play in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I think JUCO's it's a good thing, but it's also not for everybody.
Man,
A lot of those kids, when they come in as freshmen too, they don't get that playing time and they transfer, go somewhere else, and then they bring in another kid and they're sitting behind someone else and they just keep bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and they can't ever find a landing spot and get
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, and there's just with the transfer portal being so much more relaxed nowadays, that's all you see. Like,
Mhm.
it's actually so much harder for high school kids to get college offers because a
mm-hmm.
school can depend on the transfer portal. Like, I don't care how nice you are as a high school player, they're gonna choose the 2 year, 3 year college vet over you every time.
Yep.
So, when I talk to a lot of young kids, I tell them don't be afraid to go JUCO, like, and don't be upset because the way the transfer portal is now, it's really hard for college, like high school kids to get into college.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And honestly, it's gonna tell you whether you're about it or not, man. Like you said, long days, long nights, hooping,
Yeah.
school. Like I'm in bumfuck. No, I don't know where the hell I'm at. Like there's literally a gym in my JUCO, like Dawson Community College. Like who would want to go out? Like I know McKinney went out there, but who would want to go to Dawson? No disrespect, they got good hoops, but like you got the gym and you got your campus, and maybe
Yeah.
a Subway.
That's
You
it.
know,
That's
and like that's gonna tell you, are you about it or not? Like, do you want this?
It's definitely a test. It's a testament of will, and like you said, do you want it? If you want it, you'll go get it. But if not, oh well.
Yeah, Shaiki said Western. I don't know how people did it in Western. Actually, Western was fun. I went to Western on like Memorial Day.
Where is
fun.
Western?
You didn't have to live there though.
Yeah, it's in Dillon, Montana.
Yeah, man.
Montana Western.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was a killer out there. He was a killer out there in Western.
Like, well, he couldn't guard me though. That's the only problem. No, but honestly, like in retrospect, if I could have, I should have went JUCO because those first 2 years, I got in here and there because I could shoot, but like, I think it was early on where it's like, yeah, you're just gonna be a shooter. Whereas like maybe if I went to a JUCO or something, I could have developed my skills a little bit more in just like other areas. And I think that's important, like you said, with this transfer portal stuff going on. Heff knows all about it. He's big on like college football. Like, man, they're gonna take that 2, second, third, even that fourth year dude over you just because of the experience and like they're grown into their body, and like you're not gonna get that full scholarship unless you're him.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that full, and also with NAI, man. Like some people like overlook the NAI. Like NAI got killers, dude. We would have D1 dudes come down and like think they were all about it, but they had a rude awakening because NAI, man, like Frontier Conference at least. I mean, we'd have dudes come in and kind of overlook it, like, oh, look at all these white dudes, but like the way the ball was played, it's kind of like Spurs a little bit, very systematic, like move the ball, wait till you get an open shot type stuff. Unless you're Jike, he's gonna just pull.
Nah, I got respect for every level of hooper. Like, if you're trying to get better, I got respect. Like, you have my respect. Like, I play with NAI hoopers now, and they're nice. They're nice. If you are, there's in high school you can have somebody on the team that's not really that good. Like that. That's just the reality of it, and that's just high school. But in college, everybody on that team is good. It doesn't matter what level. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You could be at NAI. You could be at what's that one like? It's not the JUCO association, but it's like another, like it's like a.
It's a Christian league. Yeah.
Like those guys are killers too. There's killers on every level. Sometimes it's just not about the skill. It's not about him. Sometimes it's about the connection or exposure or something like that.
Oh.
Like you said, there's a lot of hoopers in Montana, a lot, but we don't have the exposure like a Georgia or New York or California. I imagine there's a kid in Montana right now throwing a hay bale who could probably average 30 points and 10 rebounds, and he's just out there throwing hay bales because he don't have the exposure.
Yep.
Came down to Georgia, you never know.
And that's changing a little bit. I'm seeing more AAU like groups or whatever coming out of Montana, and my assistant coach in college, JC Isaacson, he actually does a lot of work with AAU in the summer. Like when I was in high school, like coming up, like you had to have money to go do AAU. I didn't have money, and I also played baseball in my summer because it was cheaper. Like I would have played hoops, but I just couldn't. I couldn't pull 4,000 out to go play, go to Vegas, go to LA, go to Crazy, and but it's popping off now, and I think like dudes like JC, Shike's even in that a little bit. Just getting kids out there and they do fundraising and stuff, and so that's good. But like you said, it's just so much more developed in those other places.
But like you just to go off what you said, I definitely see the improvement. You're seeing a lot more guys, getting exposure out of Montana, and it's great. It's a good thing. Like my end goal when I'm done hooping, I want to start my own AAU team in Montana. I want to help. I want to be like a pipeline of native kids, and just a lot of kids, because like you said, bro, like you didn't have a lot of money, and let's be real, like a lot of kids living on the res don't have money to go do these things. If if my plan works out the way I want to, which I'm praying it will, I can be that pipeline for kids, and I can send a couple of kids to college, and they can come back and maybe want to contribute a different way, different ways than what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my goal. That's what I want to do. I just want to help out as many people as I can with this.
Bro, and I think a lot of kids would, if they got those college offers, especially coming off the res, might keep them in school. You know what I mean? It might keep them to get through. Because for me, like, if I didn't have hoops, man, especially those first couple of years of college, like, if it wasn't for hoops, I wasn't like that dedicated to school. Then after a little bit, you got the bigger picture. But like, hoops carried
Yeah,
me for like 3 years there because I did 5, and it was like, wasn't for. If I didn't have to be above a C right now, like, but
yeah,
so you went more. Well, you went junior college in the Moorhead. Is that right, or did I get it back?
yeah. Junior college and then the Morehead State in Kentucky.
What was Kentucky like?
Oh man, I will say this: I love it, but I never want to live there.
Oh.
I never want to go back to. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. Just so at least where I was at, I don't have too much experience with like Louisville or like Lexington, but at least where we were at, we were in like the backwoods of Kentucky. The population was bigger than the population of the city, and there was nothing to do. Like I found myself doing the same thing every single day, just going to the gym, eating, practice. I didn't really do anything leisurely or extracurricular because nothing was really fun. There was nothing out there, so it was cool. It was fun. I got love for Moorhead because Coach P, he's a good dude out there. The coaching staff is really great out there, honestly. Like, they know what they're doing. They like if you even check their accolades, like you can definitely see they know what they're doing out there. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
winning games. And I actually didn't play too much out at Moorhead State, but what I will say is he did a good job of making everybody feel important in their role. Like as
Mm-hmm.
a coach, you want that you want that as a player. Like I didn't see it at the time. But he really did like stick his neck out for me in some situations, and he really did vouch for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had some animosity because you're not playing me. Oh, this is.
Yeah.
But like looking back on it, I'm like, bro, you didn't even have to have me on the team. You didn't even have to vouch for me or stick your neck out for me, and yet you're doing it. So I got respect for the staff out there for sure.
That's important right there. Like you said, make you feel important in your role. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I think when you talk about the chemistry of a team, whether it's like football, baseball, basketball, like for me, maybe similar to you, I was just a shooter, man. So I just come off the bench maybe between 10, 14 minutes a game and just get up shots and like get taken out because the next guy needs to go. He got his breath, but like
Yeah.
my coach, like Kelly did a really good job with me at least, just like praising me, like telling him, hey, you gotta get the ball to the shooter, or like those types of things. Because even though I'm not the star, you know, I'm still contributing, and I think
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, most definitely.
So you went there, and then you went one more place. Let
Yeah.
me see here. What was it? Tell me.
Minnesota.
Minnesota State. Okay.
Yeah, Minnesota State University, Moorhead. It's coincidence.
How was that? Dude, it is a coincidence. It's so weird when I look at the two. That's why I'm confused.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, it was weird. There was a tweet that went viral when I committed to Minnesota State. It said Moorhead State transfer, Jaden Stanley-Williams is transferring to Minnesota State University, Moorhead. And beneath it, somebody quoted and said, "This is a guy who knows what he wants." We
I
got like
think I saw that.
he got like 400 or 500 likes, and it was funny. It was funny to me, and like people always give me hell for it now. But I love I love Minnesota State. Like I'm proud of that school. Like it was a good experience up there. I got love for all of my teammates. I can faithfully say like out of a lot of places in this world, I wouldn't mind living up there. Just because
Yeah.
of the people. The area. It wasn't bad. Winter sucked. But like other than that, people up there are cool. I love it up there.
What
Was
is
that
that?
your favorite stop?
Huh?
Was that your favorite stop in college?
Yeah, for sure. for sure. Definitely, like, it grew me. I'm not gonna lie. I would say it matured me. It was the best learning experience for me. I was a little more independent because at D1, they tell you what to do and they're kind of on your back about everything. And I kind of had a different idea about what college was like. I didn't really get a traditional college experience, but then when I went up to Minnesota, I kind of seen how things were and how you kind of have to be an individual in some situations that I didn't get when I was at Morehead State in Kentucky. So
Mhm.
I'm grateful for Minnesota State because it did grow me as a man, and it low key it brought me back closer to home. It brought me back to my roots. It grounded me.
Yeah.
So it was definitely my favorite stop for sure.
Yeah. And I was just like looking at your stats the other day. You got some games though. You got minutes too. You know what I mean? Like you were in there. Is that D1 or is that
Minnesota,
D1? Yeah. Or is that D2?
not too.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So what conference was that in?
NSIC. It's pretty competitive conference. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Uh-huh.
there were hoopers in there. You don't even think they would be good hoopers. They look like they should be doing your taxes. But
Hey, that sound like Carroll College.
like for real, they're like, man, dentist. They said majoring in orthodontist. Like what?
That's
Like what?
funny.
And he just had 30? No way.
That's funny. So, what states were in your conference? Would you go to South Dakota, North Dakota?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa. We never really traveled too far. We played in Texas,
Uh,
college. But those were like just traveling games. We were mostly in Minnesota though,
mhm.
or North.
So, like, would you want to tell us a little bit, kind of like I guess, through your journey, all the way
Mhm.
up until like the last Moorhead?
Yeah.
Um, what were some of the ups and some of the downs for you in terms of like, were there ever times where you like second guessed yourself, like,
Yeah.
and like what got you through? Was it music? Was it like AI highlight? Like, what got you through those times? Because I know personally, like, it's tough. It's emotionally taxing. When you're playing all the time, you're in school all the time. You don't have
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of time for yourself. Especially once you hit like that February,
Man.
that March. It is a gauntlet, dude.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of highs and a lot of lows, bro. Like a lot of highs and a lot. I would say there was more lows than there were highs. But my thing, I would say, is just being like staying consistent through all of that. Like life is always gonna go like this. It's always gonna go like I tried to keep myself like this.
Yeah.
Like in the good situations, try not to gloat on it too much, and in the bad situations, trying not to stay there. You're gonna have a day, you're gonna have a bad day, but like you said, music got me through a lot. Like I love music. Music gets you through everything, and I listen to all types of music. Like some days I'm listening to Journey in my headphones, just rocking out, and then other days I'm listening to old 50 Cent, and sometimes I'll just listen to Future, Little Baby, just stuff like that. And I feel like music, and it also brought me like a lot of friends. Like basketball brings you people who are going through the same thing. Like music, and like it's crazy how much music and basketball has such a correlation. Like, what what did J. Cole say? Basketball players want to be rappers, and rappers want to be basketball
Yup.
players. Like, it's really closely related. So music kind of brought to a lot of people who were going through the same thing I was going through.
Mm.
Like I had some guys that weren't playing, or I had some guys that were going through that were in the doghouse, and just being able to talk to them and know that they're going through the same thing as me. I'm like, man, we can get through this together. Like if you're going through it, I'm going through it too. Like let's do it. And I was thankful enough, grateful. I'm grateful now that I was able to get 3 championships out of it. Because in a way, it shows what I went through. Like, man, yes, I had these bad days. I had plenty of bad days. I had so many, but I was like them good days. Like good days do happen. They do come. They
Mm.
like and amazing. Those were amazing feelings. Each time I got a championship, I cried because it's such an amazing feeling because of them bad days. Like, yes, I had bad days, but I made it through it. I
Yep.
made it through it. Did it. So it was, it's other people in music got me. my mom, my dad, my parent. Like I wouldn't play in a game. Mad. I'm like, call my mom. Like, man, I'm leaving. I'm quitting basketball. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I would call my dad and I'd be like, Dad, like, I'm quitting basketball. And my dad's like really vulgar. He'd be like, man, what? Cut. Then they're cussing at me. I'm like, like I'm on the phone, like who are you talking to, bro? I'm like, who?
Yeah.
To hear that, I needed that
Yep.
because had I not had the support system I had, I would have gave up on myself. I'm just that I had my support system because I needed them. I still need them today, but they helped me through a lot.
100%. 100%. I think music's one of those things that definitely has helped me. And, like you said, just that teammate bond, man, like kicking it with your boys, like at the hotel room, like the games the next day, you just got done traveling or, sometimes just doing the stupid shit we did together, just like creating that team bond, man. Like that's the best part. But let's see. I saw a question over here. G-Bomb PBG asked you, ask him about the Upper Iowa trip.
Upper Iowa trip. Man, what? Upper Iowa. Man, that's like a 7-hour bus trip.
Ooh.
On a bus. And we went out there and lost. And I played so bad. That game. Like, but I'm not gonna lie. Zoe dunked on somebody so crazy. It was a weak dunk. Like the impact was weak, but he dunked on him. Like he cocked it back, and it was like. And the reason he didn't slam it is because dude fouled him, and they didn't call it. But it was a nice dunk. It was sick. But yeah, Upper Iowa is a trip, man. Like there's nothing out there. Like
I'd never want to go.
You
test that out.
Yeah, you good. You don't have to. Like I did. There's nothing. You're not missing anything. It's literally just a street. Like it's just a street. Like driving through Big Sandy. That's like Upper. Like
yo, that's crazy.
Big Sandy.
Yeah, like it was bad.
So I'm gonna ask both of you this, but we'll start with Jaden. Talk about music.
Yeah.
Give me your top 5 artists, any genre, you're gonna go to. Yeah, if you had 5 for the rest of your life, can't go anyone else. Who you picking? Because G. Cose said you'll put Hannah Montana on in the car, just like
He's
that.
Not lying. Like I'll throw on like Taylor Swift. I'm the type of dude like I can't really have the aux. Like I can't have the aux because like the Naruto theme song will come on next. So like I got to be careful with my aux. 5, I would say my 5. Future, definitely. I love Future.
That's a good one.
Like Future is he's a great artist to me. J. Cole for sure. J. Cole. Right now I just listen to a lot of the No Cap. Like I don't know if you guys heard of No Cap, but you probably have. But I listen to him a lot. Like he's definitely my 3rd. 4th.
Hey, Zay called that. He called that. Those 3. He called those 3 before you even said it.
Really?
He said Hendrix, No Cap, and J. Cole. and then he says I called it. See? That's crazy.
That's like my brother. That's my dude. 4 and 5. 4 and 5 is really tough because I listen to a lot of genres of music. And I want to say so many artists, but I can't because then I'll think of like another artist and I'll get mad that I can't put them on the list.
Right? That's what makes these great.
These
great.
4 and 5. Honestly, like I said, I love Journey. Like I do. Out of all just music to listen to, if it was the end of the world and I could only choose 5 artists to listen to for the rest of my life, yeah, Journey would be 4. And then probably Michael Jackson is number 5. I'm not gonna lie, because just just because he's everywhere. You could listen to anything, honestly.
Okay, I like that. We got a question in the chat real quick. What kind of criticism do you think you responded to best in your career? Um, the coach that always chewed your ass, or the dude that pulled you aside and guided you rather than yell? So a coach that's like, because coach,
Yeah.
some dudes are on your ass, but maybe you have a coach that's, maybe the assistant coach comes to you and it's a
Mm.
little differently.
Mm. Honestly, it's really dependent on really my mood. Sometimes I need to be chewed out. I'm the type like sometimes I need to hear that. Like I need to be chewed out sometimes. I can see how some people will take that the wrong way. I done had teammates that freaked out when they got freaked out on. So it's like it's a double edged sword with that. Um, but I respond to when people pull me to the side better, honestly. Like pull me to the side. Yeah, like do this, do this, do this here, do that here, like you did a good job, but maybe you can be better here. Like I definitely responded to that better than like, why did you shoot that shot? What are you doing? Like I'm like, I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, just being pulled to the side and being talked
Yep.
to instead of
I think that's important too, man. Because I could always take an ass chewing. Like I played for Kenny G, my grandpa, and
yeah,
he would be on me, man. Um, but sometimes I feel like that
oh that was oh
it could be over. Go over a boundary. You know what I mean? When a coach is that's strictly how they
yeah
do it. Because I've
yeah
seen dudes too, dude, just like melt down just because
yeah
they couldn't mentally take it.
mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes, like for me, like I couldn't take it. So like you, it kind of just depended. But I've always appreciated whether it was in sports or anything, someone like just pull me aside and just like, hey man,
yeah
not like basic training, not like basic training. If you forgot to make your bed,
yeah. That's different. Man, yeah. You bring him up. You bring him up, Kenny G. Man, I love that dude. He was so cool. He was so good to me. I remember my fondest memory. We were driving to. I don't know if you remember where that tournament was out in the middle of nowhere. Summer. I forgot where it was. It might have been like
airfield maybe,
it was a little further. It was a little further than Fairfield. It may
maybe.
have been, but like I remember he drove me out there. He would take me out there, and it would just be me and him. And he would have the AC blasting, like cold, like freezing cold. I'm over there like this, like dude, like what? Like, and I didn't want to ask him to turn it down because he was chilling, like he was vibing,
Just comfy.
dude. And he's like, "Are you cold?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he just turned it down one notch, like that didn't do anything. And I'm like, "I'm good. Like, let's just drive." But yeah, he was cool. He let me rock out too, like
Yeah.
or during the he let me go do my thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, Ken, big
Bro,
dog.
yeah, he loved that AC and like he'd put his little Oakley sunglasses on and sometimes he'd roll the
You
window
go.
down and he'd just have the Temptations blasting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
Man, they
like this guy needs to chill out, like full blast, like he's
yeah,
outside my apartment building. Like and I'm like, dude,
people
live
do.
here. Like and he just has it and he's trying it's just crazy. So that's funny. That's
Yeah.
funny. Hef, who's your top five? Give us your top five, man.
That is so hard, dude. I don't know. I just a lot of mine is older country music. I listen to a little bit of everything.
Don't say Lil
Probably
Pump.
honestly, do what?
Don't say Lil Pump.
Oh no, that phase is over. That was a troll phase. Um, Probably George Strait at the top. I was born and raised on listening to George Strait. My dad's from Texas. That's all he listens to. He's got every single album ever made on CD up at our cabin.
That's a
Mm,
good pick.
I'd go George Strait. I'd probably throw Kenny Chesney in there. I'm not going 1 through 5. I'm just giving a 5, but
yep.
Kenny Chesney would be in there. He's got a ton of all-time classics. I gotta throw Future in mine. I got so many of his songs. Whenever he drop a new album, dude, I would wear that whole album out in a month, just putting it on repeat. Um, I don't know about the last two, man. That's tough.
That is tough in the last two.
Are we talking? Are we talking? They're just on our playlist. Like they're the only people we can listen to. Are
Yeah,
we rating?
the rest of your life, you have to pick 5.
Oh my god, that's tough. I can't do that because I know, like he said, as soon as I pick some dudes, I'm gonna realize that I left some people off. We'll circle back. Give me a little bit more time to think about that one.
All right. All right.
Who you got?
My top 5.
You've been waiting for this, haven't you?
Oh, I just know it. I just know it. Eminem. I grew
Okay,
up. I grew up on Eminem though. So like the Slim Shady, like LP,
Yeah.
Slim Shady show, Eminem show. So Eminem,
That's a good
Kendrick,
pick. Mhm.
Eminem, Kendrick. I'd like J. Cole definitely. Nipsey Hussle for sure. I love Nipsey Hussle, man. My college teammate's the one who put me on to him. My freshman year, he's like, they were talking about Nipsey. I was like, who's Nipsey Hussle? Like I'm from Great Falls, bro. Like music don't get out. Like music, kind of like sports, bro. Like it don't get out to Montana like it is in like Georgia, bro. Like you, it was like probably music mecca out there. Like all the time.
There are artists I don't even know. Like there are artists that if I named them, you would be like, who? But they're like big, you know. That's why Future down here, like you don't understand. Future is huge down here. Like back in the mixtape era, like back when people were making mixtapes and downloading mixtapes, like Future was so big in Atlanta. Like you could go to anybody here, I promise, and you'll be like, who is the GOAT? Like the GOAT at making music out of any genre, any
Mhm.
music genre, they're gonna say Future. Like he's huge here.
Damn.
Um,
My boy
Ram-
my teammate he's from Georgia, from Atlanta too.
he's
And
hey, I'm from I stand.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he would tell me like he'd tell me about all the music and stuff. I think he went to the high school one of the Migos went to. I don't know, something crazy like that. But
Yeah.
so my last one, I'm gonna take J. Cole off because I hate to do it. So
Oof.
Kendrick, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's a good one.
Come on,
I like
I'm gonna go Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm gonna go AC/DC.
Ooh.
Okay, and then this last one. This one's tough, man. This one's really tough.
Matt Miller.
Oh, it was Nipsey.
That's a good list.
I'm gonna take Nips. I'm gonna rest in peace. I'm gonna take Nip off, and I gotta throw in someone like Prince or Michael Jackson. I'm gonna go Michael Jackson too.
Prince is a good one too. I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna go Michael Jackson. My wife's in the chat. She said Britney Spears, Justin Bieber, Shania Twain, Hannah Montana, and just Snoop.
Oh my
She
god.
put Snoop. She said Snoop. That's crazy.
That's a good pick though.
So back to a little bit back to basketball here. I know you said like Lawrence and your brother, but like how about pros? Like who was your pro coming up? Are you a LeBron guy? I was a Steve Nash guy. Like,
Me too.
You're a Steve
Me
Nash
too,
dude?
I was a Steve Nash dude. Stefan's favorite player was Steve Nash, and so he was mine too. I love Steve Nash. Like I was a LeBron dude for sure. Like don't get me wrong, but everybody's like in a way almost LeBron. Like everybody knows LeBron.
Right.
But like Steve Nash, that was my guy. I watched him break his nose and put it back into place. That was the coolest thing in my life.
Man,
All right, let's get to it.
oh man. When he got thrown in when Robert Ory threw him into that, like shoulder checked him. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
And then Amari Stoudemire came out. Like our whole bench got onto the floor and they were suspended the next game.
Yeah.
We were gonna win the finals, man. But Steve Nash, like that's the Phoenix Suns right there. That's the Phoenix Suns, that close all the time. But Steve Nash,
Yeah.
man.
Allen Iverson too. I would say Allen, Michael Jordan, guys like that.
Jay said your game reminds him of PG.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
He said crazy if you don't say him. So yeah, you looked up to those guys. kind of coming up, and
Yeah, Kevin Durant, Paul George. I
KD.
look Hoopers like I love basketball. Like
Yeah,
there's so basketball is such an art form. It's like poetry. It's like watching somebody paint. Like everybody has their own style. Everybody you can tell how somebody lives their life by the way they hoop. You know, that's why I just like taking moves from other people because they think of moves I would never think of. You know, Kyrie Irving does some things. And even now, I'm like, bro, how do you even do that? Like, how does that even happen? I try to work on it, and it's like it's just not part of my game. That's not like my game. I got to do something else. And so that's when I'll go to like Paul George, and I'll see his sidestep move, or I'll see how he does a certain move. If there's a move he does that I can't do, maybe I'll work on it. And if it doesn't work, I can't incorporate it in my game. I'll just look for something else, like Katie's, cross between the legs, between the legs into a pull. Like, I look up to a lot of pro. I just love basketball, honestly.
that's what it's about, man. Being a student of the game.
Yeah,
Now you got a pro contract.
crazy.
Portugal.
Yeah,
Portugal. It's Portugal.
it's like Spain. Spain right here. It's like right here.
Oh, okay, for some reason I was thinking South America.
Yeah, it's because Brazil. I think Brazilians are like Portuguese.
Ah, that's right. They speak Portuguese.
Yeah,
So when do you head that way? And like what's that process been like?
that's it's been hectic. I'm not gonna lie. Just talking to agents and dealing with contracts and stuff like that. It's been hectic. So I'm just, signing was like a breath of fresh air. It was like a relief. Just okay, I can breathe for a little bit now. Um, just and I don't have my passport. Like that process has been the most annoying, just getting my passport. But everything's figured out now. So just the process was hectic though, kind of annoying.
Did you have other offers from teams in other countries, or how did you land on Portugal?
Yeah. So a lot of it's about the league you play in. Some guys go overseas and they'll play in a league that's almost like a dead end league. And so, just for sake of like not calling out those teams being in a dead end league, like I just couldn't play for them. I just didn't see growth in them. And I would talk to agents or guys that have been through the circuit before, and they would say like, "Don't go play there. Like you can average 40, but it's not going to mean anything to, you know, upper league teams because I'm in like a rookie league, like a starter league. So Portugal is like a place like where you can grow as a basketball player, and there's potential to move to like a much bigger team within that year. So that's why I decided to take it. So I just felt like as far as having a long beneficial career, I have to start here and hopefully just do what I need to do to make the most out of it I can. To be honest.
Absolutely. It's dope. Like my boy Z's over there, Zacchaeus, and him just talking to me about like how there's different leagues. Like if you win one league, you can go up to
Yeah.
another division, and the connections are there, man. And like you have a good season, they're gonna keep calling. So how did you pick an agent, or did an agent like how did that work out?
That process was actually really crazy. That process was kind of insane. Like, so what happened was I was reaching out to agents. Like, I was reaching out to agents and stuff, but like a lot of them weren't getting me back, and it was kind of, it's hurt my feelings. But I went to this gym, this run with my friend Mikey, and there was a guy who used to play pro there named Lamont, and like I had like 44 points my first game out there. Like I was just killing it. He was like, "Where do you hoop at?" And I said, "Nowhere." I said, "I just graduated. I'm looking for a way to get into, get a professional contract. I'm looking for a way to hoop." And he linked me through to this guy, and his guy was like, I talked to this Portugal team for you, and they want you to come play. And I was like, all right. I was like, let me come play. And he also told me about this showcase. I got a showcase at the end of the month, and there will be like G League teams and other like high league like Euro League teams. So I really want to. That's what I've been focused on. I've been working on just efficiency workouts, trying to make 10 shots in a row, and then trying to go from 10 shots in a row to 12 shots in a row, and then 5 shots in a row while I'm tired. So because this is a showcase, so if I can go out there and show out and hopefully get bought out of my contract, that would be pretty dope, and then play here in the States for a little bit. that's kind of my goal. It's what I'm working towards. But yeah, just getting put on with that agent. I thank Lamont. He
Yeah.
he definitely put in a good word for me.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. So it happened pretty quick then. Like it just probably happened so fast.
Like that, it was just
Uh-huh.
quick, bro.
So you're just preparing all summer, just kind of waiting, and then it just kind of falls in your lap then, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It was being ready. It was staying ready, like staying ready, not allowing myself to just lay around and get in my head and like, oh man, he has this offer, he has this, he has that. It was like I said, my support system helped me out a lot this summer.
Yep.
There were times I just wanted to quit and just start working a regular job, utilize my degree a little bit, and you know, my dad actually has been he's been a lot of my fire this summer.
Mhm.
He talks to me like every day, like telling me like, man, son, you got to go. Like you're a good basketball player. You got to go. You got to go do something. Like, and he would just instill knowledge in me. And he's like, man, you got an opportunity right now. You can work whenever. You can go to work whenever. You can't play basketball forever. And that's true. There's gonna be one day I can't play no more, at least competitively. So that's why I just decided to jump on this opportunity and see how far I can really take it.
Bro, shoot for the damn stars, man. Because,
That's
like,
Sure.
right.
where we started the pod, like, the kid from the Res, Great Falls, Montana, moving out to
Yeah.
Georgia. Look at you now, bro. Like, that's
Yeah.
the most amazing part about it, man. Like, you make a lot of people freaking proud from Great Falls to probably everyone you met along the way, and just keep going, man. Enjoy it. Like you're gonna be over in Europe. You're gonna be hooping at a
Yeah.
high level. Like shit, dude.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people get to do that. I wish I could, but I started to get fat, and I'm only like 6'1", so you know, I just be golfing now. So,
Yeah. I got to get out there on that green for a little bit.
oh yeah. Zay asked you who's your GOAT basketball player. I'll answer wisely.
Man, that is so hard. I hate when people ask this question. This is like I don't hate it, but like it's so hard for me. Like there's so many you can't basketball is one of them sports to me you just can't be a goat. But if you are going to consider a goat, you have to say either LeBron or Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more leaning towards the LeBron. I'm more on the LeBron side. Like just cuz if you want to talk about a goat in basketball, let's talk about scoring, rebounding, passing, dribbling, longevity. Let's talk about that. You know, he there's not really nothing that he can't do. Like people that hate on LeBron just need somebody to hate on. To be honest, like in my head, like there's no reason to hate on this man. Like
Hey, I don't hate LeBron. I hate LeBron fans on Twitter specifically.
Oh,
It is
well,
absolutely chaos out there.
yeah, LeBron
Um,
sexuals.
I appreciate everything LeBron's done, and I'm not, but I'm an MJ guy.
I don't blame you.
Zay, you're probably not gonna like that, but I'm an MJ guy. And LeBron does got the height, he got the scoring, rebound, and all of that. Um, but as a hooper yourself, some dudes, I'm not saying LeBron doesn't have it, but some dudes are just on a different kind of level that's hard to explain. I think 6-0 is tough. He didn't play as long. But LeBron's a good one too, man. Shoot, that one's tough. But I'm always just gonna go MJ. I'm biased. I think the 6-0 speaks for itself. People don't like that. People don't like. Hef don't like. The Hef thinks James Harden is
oh, dude,
is
no,
the
don't get me
greatest.
started with that. But I got a question. So you have your goats, but if you could pick, if you got to play out one of their careers, would you rather play MJ's career or would you rather play LeBron's career?
That's a good
LeBron's
question.
100%. 100%. I would take LeBron's. Like, yeah, 6-0 is tough. 6-0 is tough, but come on now. Like LeBron has the opportunity to be the first player ever to have like what 40,000 points, 10,000 plus rebounds.
Yeah.
Like he's seventh or eighth in steals. Like that's a career. That is a
Got a couple of
career to
years
have.
too.
And you know,
Through three
after
different decades.
through 3 different decades and on different teams, like he's not only a GOAT in Miami and Cleveland, he's making a claim in California, in Los Angeles. Like the man's resume speaks for itself. But I also wouldn't mind having MJ's career. Like, look, man, MJ is nice. MJ is a killer. He averaged 30.1 as a career. People don't do that. Normal people don't average 30.1 for a career. There are people that get to the league and don't even average 2 points for a career. He averaged 30 points. That means any given night, he's going out there and giving you 30 points. Like, man, that's a different type of locked in. That's a different, and he didn't shoot 3-pointers like that. That's a different type of locked in.
Yeah, and it's hard. It is hard to compare too, because I think as LeBron came in, the game's developed just it's completely different than from the 90s, 80s when MJ was in, Magic and them were in, and then like LeBron kind of came in when Kobe was killing, and like Kobe was like that, you know, he was kind of like that. I don't want to say barrier is not the right word, but the
bridge.
The bridge, exactly. He was the bridge, and then like Steph came along, and like LeBron lasted through all that. LeBron lasted through the Pistons. He lasted through the Spurs. Well, he went 1-2 against the Spurs, and he went against the Warriors. Bronze came up against a lot. Those are two tough careers. At the end of the day, it's probably 1A, 1B, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, Kobe in there too. I think Kobe's right there with it. I think he's right. 1A, 1B, 1C. And, you know.
I love Kobe. R.I.P. Kobe. I do love Kobe. I look up to him. But if you're gonna put him as a 1A, 1B, you got to add a 1D in there, and that 1D is Tim Duncan.
Timmy D, hey,
he's got such an underrated.
He is so underrated, dude. 5 rings.
Oh no, this man is Timmy D is nice. Mr. Fundamental is nice. He's so good at basketball.
Bro, just killing with that turnaround bank shot, one-handed, or he's shooting it. He's blocking sneaky dunk. Bro, I saw him at Disney World last year on my honeymoon.
Really?
Bro, so we're walking. Have you ever been to Disney World?
In Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you walk in like on that main thing where you're walking towards the castle, and I'm on the left-hand side on the sidewalk. I think there was a parade coming through.
Yeah.
And I'm walking and I see this like 7-foot dude with a bucket hat on, and he had like the dreads or whatever he got going right now. And I was like, who is that? I thought it was like, what NFL player am I thinking of? Was it Terrell Owens or someone who has it looks just like him? And I kind of like see him turn, and I was like, Duncan, it's Tim Duncan. And I'm like, getting my phone out because I was gonna ask him for a pic. But his wife or his girlfriend, because he's there with his little daughter, and she was just like, she saw me, and she's like, no. And I was like, okay, I respect that. So I just sat there and stared at him for a second. Not only in awe, but like, that guy killed the Phoenix Suns and ruined my childhood. He ruined my childhood, man.
Yeah, give me D, man.
But yeah, that's a good one. Zay says Dirk over Timmy D.
But no. I ain't even gonna entertain that one.
Yeah.
I can't entertain that one.
What was I gonna say?
This bald, he said.
I know. Who was I thinking of? Who the hell did I think it was? Some dude ended up getting drafted. I don't know.
Who you could have been thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it ended up being Tim Duncan. I wanted to pick, didn't happen, but it was just I was just in the general area.
Yeah.
Hey, you watch UFC though? You into that stuff?
Wait, what did you say, bro? You kind of cut out.
Are you into the UFC?
Oh yeah, man. Me and my brother are pretty big into it. My brother loves it. Stephen loves it, so I tap in whenever I can.
Who you got this weekend? Come on
now. You know who I'm rocking with. I'm rocking with the Sugar Show, man.
Give me Suge, baby.
Give me Suge, baby. That's a Montana boy. People don't understand. We don't get opportunities like this.
No.
Like, it just don't happen. It don't happen. So if he goes out there, takes that belt, he's gonna go out there and take. I ain't even going. If he's gonna go out there and take that belt, he's gonna go take it. Like, come
on, man. Hey, it's a fight. Like the dude he's going against, he ain't the joke. He ain't no joke. But I can tell you what, something about the Sugar Show, it's almost too good to be true. Like,
in a way, yeah.
Sugar Show about to bring Montana to the top because, like you said, we don't get this. We don't get this opportunity, man. Who you got, Heff?
I got the Sugar Show, man. till he proves me otherwise. Till he gives me a reason not to.
In what fashion? Decision?
I love me a good knockout. I'm taking a knockout.
I think he's gonna take his head off, man. He got to. He's got to.
Got to. Has to.
I saw him before he even made it to UFC. So his brother, his name's Daniel O'Malley. I believe it's Danny O'Malley. He played at Capitol. Oh, he dipped. He'll be back, folks. Oh.
Wait, what happened?
There we go.
My bad.
We're back.
My fault.
He played at Capitol, and we were at State. It was my senior year at State. We lost out. Went out sorry. But my uncle was like, he's an assistant for Capitol. He's like, see that guy over there? And I was like, yeah, it's just some curly-headed dude. He's like, that guy's a fighter, and he's really good. Like, he's a pro out here or something like that. And I looked at him. I was like, oh, cool. It was Sean. He's like, Sean O'Malley. I was like, oh, dope. So I kind of kept up because he was fighting around Montana and stuff like that. And then now just to see where he's at, just like a kid from Helena,
huge.
man. Like,
It's dope.
fighting against Aljamain Sterling. Yeah, I got the Suge. I got the Sugar Show, man. He got to do his thing.
Facts. I'm on the side.
Yeah.
Win or lose, I'm with him.
Yep. Oh shit, man. We've been on here for about hour 15. I appreciate you coming on, Jaden, bro. I think
Yeah, you're setting the bar high.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
setting that
appreciate
bar
it.
real high, man. And it's still to be to be continued. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for sure.
You're gonna go do your thing out in Portugal. When do you head out?
September 5th, September 6th, something like that.
How does that feel, knowing you're about to take? Have you ever been overseas?
Nah, I've never been out the country. Like, ever.
How's that feel for you? What's that like?
It's a little nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie, just being in a new situation. I'm not nervous about the basketball portion. I work out too much. I do this. Like, I play too much to be nervous about that. I'm just nervous about the customs and how things are and how things are going to be, But it'll work out. I know it will.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hold on, we got some chats in here from D Zim. He said Jaden's the GOAT, and Kobe Ben something said, shout me out, JR. I'll fly down to Atlanta and kiss you. I don't know who this is.
Who said that? Dane?
Kobe Ben NGA. I don't know, man. They must know you.
Yeah.
However, Wetz and Heff.
Probably my old teammates, man. I know Dane's my old teammate for sure.
Yeah.
Like, my old teammates, they say stuff like that.
They're blaming you in there.
Yeah. But shoot, man, we've had you on here for about an hour or so. We'll let you get out of here, but that means you got to come back on after your season or during your season. Give us a little update. Yeah. Give us a little update of what's going on. Just let us know, and we'll be tapping in with you, man. Let us know where we can find those links to watch you play. Just let us know how we can keep up, man. Yeah. But again, just from like watching you as a little dude, so damn proud of you, man. Coming from Montana, you're putting on for us too. Like you said, we talked about the Suge putting on. You're putting on for us too, because not a lot of people from our area get this kind of opportunity. And like you're the bridge. Like you said, you want to come back, do that AAU. That's the bridge right there.
Yeah.
So you're a winner, man, and you gotta keep it going. But
yeah, no, I appreciate it, bro. That means a lot. It really does.
But yeah, man, we'll let you get out of here. We appreciate it. We'll post this up and we'll let you know when it goes up. Chat, Heff and I are gonna talk about a couple more things before we get out of here, but we're gonna let the boy Jaden get out. We appreciate him, and a good one. First podcast guest, absolutely killed it.
It was an honor, man.
Yep. Appreciate you, bro, and
yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no, thank y'all for having me, man. This was dope.
Stay tuned. Cool. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
absolutely. Sure. We'll tap in. Heff, I'm gonna bounce over to that other Discord, and we'll let the dude go. All right, see you, Jaden. We appreciate you.
All right, man. Y'all boys be safe, man.
Gotta find out how to make that a little more smooth.
The transition.
Yeah, transition from that to this. But yeah, Jaden Stanley, man, proud of that kid. Glad he got to come in, just chop it up for a while. We had him on here for a minute, so
Yep. Definitely looking forward to following him this year.
yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about something, Heff.
Oh boy.
Let's talk
Where
about
are we
something.
going with this?
And I wasn't gonna bring it up with Jaden on here because he's a pro hooper connections. You know, we don't want him speaking on other pro hoopers.
I have a feeling I
But
know where this is going.
what's the vibe on James Harden right now, man?
Dude. So I saw this report a while ago that Houston was trying to bring him back, and Ime Udoka pretty much ended all of that. And so with all this new news coming out, I'll be the first to tell you I wanted him to be a Rocket again. I was excited for it, and then after seeing this, man, we've been down this road before twice with him now. He seems to have trouble follow him.
Hey, is Ime Udoka the Sixers coach?
No, the Rockets coach.
Okay, yeah.
Houston was trying to bring him in. He's like, I'm not coaching Harden. I don't want that in my locker room.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the one who prevented Harden from coming back.
Oh, Nick Nurse is with the Sixers now, huh?
I think so.
Ah.
That dude, we had this conversation when it first broke that he wanted out of Houston. I was so upset and I was down in my feels. And then he finally leaves, and I have not wanted to see him win along the way. And now it's coming out again that he wants out again. Like there seems to be one common denominator, and that's him.
Man,
He's played on some super teams. He's played with Joel Asher. He played with KD and Kyrie, man. I know injuries happen, but like, well, what does this guy want? What does this guy need? He had the money in Houston. He had the teammates in Brooklyn. He had the system in Philly. Like, what does this guy need? What is he looking for? Obviously, he wants to get paid.
Yep.
But
go get your
he'll
bag.
Get paid anywhere. So what is this guy looking for? What is his end goal?
I'm just curious about like Daryl Morey's situation with that whole thing. Like, he came out in China and was like, Daryl Morey's a liar and like this kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh shoot, like I wonder. And that's the thing about like behind the scenes NBA and behind the scenes just pro sports, anything. I bet, like, what does this look like behind the scenes? Like, how fabricated are these reports? Like, what was James Harden told at one point? What wasn't he told? And like, how did they get to this? Because like, if you're him, why would you want to leave Joel? You know, like, why wouldn't you want to leave that? Like, he wants to go to the Clippers now or something like that. And like, I don't know, man. I said this before. I feel like some people might take that for granted. Take hoops for granted. You know, like, I go get your bag for sure, but you're already a millionaire. Like, he got a big bag already.
Oh yeah.
How much do you love the game? You know, I know a lot of people. Like Jade would do anything to get to the league. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that would die to be in that kind of situation, and like, are you gonna let money, you know, ruin it all? I don't know, but who knows what happens behind the scenes? Who knows what happens?
Well, when he was in Houston, he was calling the shots. He's the one who requested to play with Chris Paul. They go get Chris Paul. Then he wants to play with Westbrook, so they cater to him. And then he didn't like the way he played with Russ, so he goes and gets Sean Wall. Whatever Harden wanted, he got while he was there.
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't know what the guy wants. He's played on super teams. He's played on a team where he's played with anybody in the league pretty much that he's wanted to. Like, how much can you give this guy until he's happy?
Right. Interesting, man. People are saying he might be a Sun, and I'm like, how's he going to be a Phoenix Sun?
There's no way. He's chasing that bag. And you got.
I low-key feel bad for Joel, man. Like, he's like, come on. Like,
finally get.
Like he had Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons, like, he was killing. But then
Dude, he was nice.
he went through his thing, and that's fine. But like now he got James Harden. It's just like no one wants to be in Philly. What's that say about Philly? Like, who knows?
I think Philly's just had bad luck with the players and characters that they brought in rather than the city or the franchise itself, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben Simmons, he was a killer, and then got hurt, and he was just never the same. And so they get rid of him, bring in Harden. Harden was really solid for him.
But it's those
I
big
remember there was a
moments.
game, everybody's like, oh, Harden's toast because Embiid was hurt. And they're like, oh, Harden's washed. And then he goes out and gives them 50, 60.
Yeah.
Well, he's still capable of doing that. And so I don't think it's a Philly thing. I think it's more about the individuals they got there.
Yeah.
Send him to Atlanta.
Send him to Atlanta. Yeah, I saw that.
What pieces do Atlanta have to send to Philly?
Trae Young or Dejounte Murray?
Well, wouldn't you think they would want to keep those guys?
They said everyone was on the chopping block except for Trae.
I thought they were trying to get rid of him.
Maybe they are now. Who knows? The league is so weird, man. People be trading. Like, no one's safe. Like, no one is safe.
I don't want this to happen, and I'm not saying this because I'm a homer, but I was scrolling through Instagram today, and I saw this thing that said that now there's teams calling in on Joel Embiid already, and I saw something that said Houston would be interested. I don't think we're in a position to go get a superstar like that. I like the way our rebuild's going right now, but that just, I mean, like you said, the behind the scenes, now Joel Embiid might be asking himself, what's left for me in Philly?
Exactly. That was exactly what I was thinking of too. Like, what does he have left? You know, what does he have left there? Like, does he want to stay there? Is he gonna be loyal? Is he gonna like if you lose Harden, you're kind of looking at a rebuild again, or like being 5 seed, 3, 4, 5, maybe.
And it still runs through Boston, probably.
Yeah, it definitely runs through Boston. It runs
Speaking
through
of
Boston.
dude, that Jaylen Brown
Miami.
contract, $55-60 million a year. Are you kidding me?
Isn't that crazy?
That's a lot of money.
To average 18 points in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hey, go get your bag. I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on Jaylen Brown or anything like that. But I saw some stuff like, put in perspective.
Is that the best move for them to make, though?
He was averaging 18 in the playoffs. Like, he's hot and he's cold, and when he's hot, definitely.
I think.
How much are you going to pay Jason Tatum?
That's what I'm saying. There's only a handful of dudes in the league that I would even consider paying $60 million a year to. And with all due respect to the guy, Jaylen Brown is not on that list. $60 million is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
That's.
What do you think about the Suns, man? What do you think about their layout?
You know, I was really surprised when they went and got Beal. I wouldn't say surprised, but just what they had to give up to get him, it wasn't too much. And then that first day of free agency, man, I was just scrolling on Twitter, and Suns signed like 3 or 4 really, really quality role players for really good team-friendly contracts. I think that they filled out that roster about as good as they could given the cap situation.
Yep. Be interesting. Be interesting to see. I think, you definitely have star power to get you points and do all that kind of stuff. I think when you look at it from the perspective, and I don't know how they're going to run it, I trust Vogel. I prefer Monty. Monty was the man. I felt like he was our franchise.
Right.
Thought he was our franchise coach. I don't know why we moved him, but Vogel's known for his defense and yada yada. Got a ring, and he had some competitive teams before the Lakers.
We really count that one.
I mean,
it's
up for debate. It's up for debate. But
with all due respect, TJ Warren was the leading scorer.
Yeah. Like, I get it. Yeah.
The bubble was nuts.
It's different because you don't have a fan atmosphere in front of you. Like,
Absolutely.
you have friends and family around you, but that's like playing in the Drew League. You can go play in the Drew League, and dudes be like in an isolated bubble. I can get how socially that sucks. You're in Disney
Mhm.
World. You're not just like in a prison. You're at Disney World. I don't know. It's a ring. Everyone was playing under the same circumstances. But I mean,
In an actual NBA environment, do we think the Lakers are winning that?
against the Heat, yeah, that year. That year, absolutely. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows? But Lakers lost a lot after that year. They lost.
Yeah.
Didn't they lose Contavious? They lost Rondo. They lost Dwight. Didn't come back. Maybe Dwight did come back for one more year.
Dude, role players are so undervalued, man. That's the heart and soul of a team.
Yeah, role players are very undervalued, man. But
Like the Suns, you've seen it firsthand with KD and Book. You've got guys like Campaign that come in and just are a nice little spark, team going,
yep,
keep the team even flowing.
yep. They lost Caruso.
That's right.
But they got Austin Reeves, so it was like, would you rather have Caruso or Austin Reeves?
That guy's a killer.
But I think the Suns, man. I think if they do it right, because like you don't always have to have all four together on the floor at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
like,
get creative with those lineups.
you can get very creative. But let's flip it to Big Sky Football.
Oh boy, it's getting close, isn't it?
How you feeling about the Grizz season coming up? Fontaine said F Reeves. Wow.
Damn, that's crazy. What did he do to you?
What did he do to you except be a bucket, LaFontaine?
Grizz football, man. I think this is good. Fucking garbage, he says. No, I think this is gonna be the first time since Bob Stitt, probably 6, 7, 8 years, that the offense is gonna be better than the defense. They lost 3 All-Americans on defense. We've talked about it earlier with Jaden. We've utilized the transfer portal pretty heavily to plug a lot of holes. New coaches coming in and out, a lot of new assistants, new offensive and defensive coordinator. They do have a pretty easy schedule up front that's a lot more difficult on the back end. So I don't really see a path where they don't start 5-0 this year.
Yep. We'll be there for that November 6th game.
Yep, November 4th,
November
night
4th.
game, Sac State, hopefully snowing. I remember last year when the Astros were playing in the World Series, I was flipping back and forth between that and the Grizz game because they were playing Cal Poly at like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It was just an all-out blizzard, dude. It was
The worst call. Oh, that's the wrong game.
No, dude, but those snow games are special. They got a different feel to them, and they're just. I've never been to a snow game like that in person. I've been to it where there's snow on the ground or it snowed a little, but
Yeah.
not those kind of conditions. So we can only hope.
I want the chat in the 9-2 best case scenario, but we're talking night game, Washington Grizzlies Stadium, November, and you give us a little snow flurry out there. Gets a little cold where I might be sitting in my jacket. And I'm still kind of like, oh, it's a little nippy out here. It's cold out here. You know, that's what we want.
Especially a team from California coming up. Teams that have never seen snow.
Bring
before.
those Cali boys up north to this winter in this canyon where it echoes. This ain't Bobcat Stadium. This is Washington Grizzlies Stadium. This ain't the litter box. This is the big league. This is the real deal. And I can't wait for them to come to Washington Grizz this year and we get our lick back.
That's right, dude. I don't know if you remember the game last year against them. Early in that game, Cheap Shot takes out our starting quarterback, who's out not only that game, but the next game against number 5 Weber State, who we lost to by a touchdown on the road. Probably would have beat them if we had our starter. But very late in the game, they're going on a little drive, and they get a completion on 4th down, about 20, 30 yards downfield. Clear as day, dude's out of bounds. Clear as day. They review it. couple minute review, and they still say that he was in bounds. And then they went on to beat us in overtime. And oh, dude, that game was so deflating. That kind of took the wind out of our sails for the season going forward. And
That was the
a
one that
total
ended at
buzzkill,
like
so-
midnight, right?
Yeah, it was crazy late, dude. And I was sitting here like all pissed off in my living room. That game was brutal, and it was kind of the tipping point of the season.
Dude, and you said it just perfect. You know, there's a couple things last year, at least in the Grizz football's season, that could have easily went the other way and put
Dude, it was all
them in a
health.
better spot. You know what I mean? Health, a stupid call like that. It's tough,
Shit,
man.
even in the playoffs, bro, we're in Fargo, down 8 at halftime. Come out, go 3 and out to start the half. NDSU gets the ball, pick 6. We're right back in the game, and then the quarterback gets hurt. Well, the quarterback got hurt before halftime, but I mean, you got a healthy quarterback. You got a tie game in the Fargo Dome halfway through the third. Might be able to put some drives together instead of having a freshman quarterback who's maybe seen 20 snaps on the field.
Yep. Yep, and
I
yes,
mean-
Tink, we'll be there November 4th, you bet.
Oh yeah, we got a whole crew coming through.
For Grizz football, I am flying into Montana from Colorado to go watch some Grizz football. You know why? Because it's that elite. It is top tier football. We need a bounce back here, man. We need a bounce back. You know, we beat the Cats 2 years ago, but then they made it to the Natty. You know, and we couldn't stop hearing about that one. You know,
And they whipped our ass last
they beat
year.
our ass last year. We got to get our lick back.
Yep.
Got to get our lick back. I'm excited though. I'm excited. But one thing it is dope to see is, you know, Montana boys in the NFL, kind of ripping it up.
Patrick O'Connell, man, he had 5 tackles for the Seahawks in their first preseason game. First Kalispell Glacier kid to play in the NFL.
Dude, it's cool to see. It's cool to see, and even as controversial as it may sound to you, it's cool to see some of the Cats that are from
No,
Montana
Troy Anderson,
get in
dude,
there.
They had
and-
a really cool video on him, and I mean, he's a Montana boy. I
Yeah.
like seeing. We talked
Dylan.
about it earlier with Jaden again, dude. They make us proud, and we don't got a lot of guys that come up and make it like that. So when you get that story, it's easy to rally behind them.
Yep, absolutely. That's Tink's birthday weekend. Well, Tink, I'll buy you a drink, man. We'll be sitting north side, right, Heff?
North end zone. Yep, we're in the opposite corner of the Cannons.
Opposite
We're up at
corner
the
of the
very top.
Cannons. I'm excited. I'm excited.
And we got a whole
Oh.
crew, dude. That weekend's gonna be.
Hopefully,
crazy.
by that time we'll have multiple podcasts out, and I think something we're gonna do is keep checking in on Grizz football, giving our takes. Heff's kind of lead the way on that because he's a little more seasoned than I am. But I'm down for it. And appreciate you getting in here, Tink. You got season tickets in the north end zone. Right on. How do you think the Cats are gonna be this year, Heff?
I don't got too many good things to say about those guys. They'll be all right. I do want to point out 2 of their coaches had DUIs this offseason, and one of them, as punishment, got a promotion. So that's what they got going on over there, man. And it is what it is. I don't got nothing to say about those guys.
I didn't know
They'll be all
that.
right. Yeah, it was like back-to-back weekends.
Los
One of
Angeles,
them-
man.
They were both assistants, and then a couple months later, I think that one of them got promoted to a coordinator or something.
That's crazy. Probably just no one ever talked about it after it hit the newspaper. It was probably all done.
Yeah, no. So.
Tink says they're
I don't
going
know.
9-2. Good. I hope
No,
they
they're
go.
not-
I hope
that's
they go
what they
10-0. I mean 9-0, leading up to the Brawl of the Wild. And then we take it in Washington Grizzly Stadium. What did Tony Romo say about Wa Grizz, Heff?
Loudest stadium he's ever played in. This was during his NFL career too.
Yep. So
Carson Wentz has said it too.
dang, and they brought game day there. I knew they were gonna do that. I knew they would. When I was in Missoula, they said bring game day to Missoula, And when they
Technically wasn't game day though.
what was it?
It was so it was 0 week before the FBS started playing the 0 week. It was specifically one FCS game every year on 0 week.
Oh well. Anyways, I knew they were gonna go to Bozeman, and like the writing was on the walls.
Oh, dude, I was sick.
I was sick, and I knew all
Going for
year
Brisbane
long.
For the year before, they wouldn't have even thought about it.
Yep.
We laid the foundation for game day to go to Bozeman.
What a damn shame. What a damn shame. But yeah, man. Shoot, we're at hour 38. I think we cut it here. Call it good for the first pod ever. We had Jaden Stanley, and I thought that was a great interview. Just talking to him, just like picking his brain. He's a dude. I haven't seen Jaden physically for about 5 years. I think I saw him when I was in college. He came into Great Falls. We were hooping. But just to see the growth from him, man, that was a great first guest. I appreciate the chat. You could tell it was a great first guest because when he was in here, we had about 16. Once he got off, we dropped to about 7. So he has a good following, and he's going to do great things. We're definitely going to have him back on here. But yeah, Chad, I appreciate you all coming in.
We'll keep the pod updated too throughout the season. Let you guys know how he's doing.
Yeah, and engage also on our socials. Engage with us. Give us a like, give us a retweet. We're gonna be throwing some takes out there. Let us know if we're right or wrong. We want to hear it. We want recommendations from y'all on content to put out. It's really, I think we just grow and get better from here. I think we'll kind of find our identity along the way, but we're just here to talk, man. And so we have some more guests coming up soon. We'll let you know when they come in. But I appreciate y'all, and thank you for tuning in to the Skywalking with Wetz and Heff podcast, episode 1. We appreciate y'all. Peace.